All right, hey everybody. We are taking a look at the Les Paul Jr. Double Cut 2019. Just a really solid basic guitar. There's not a whole lot to say about it, other than you get some basic specs. You get 24 3/4 scale length, rosewood board, these tuners that I'm not really a huge fan of the look, but they do their job. That's all that matters. Silkscreen logo, volume and tone knob, one pickup, and your jack is on the front instead of traditionally right here. What's cool about this guitar setup is being bare bones like this. It's a workhorse guitar. It does what it needs to do. It does it well, but it doesn't do it flashy. It stays in tune fairly well for a wraparound tailpiece that you cannot do a whole lot of intonation to. Like fine adjusting, you can do a little bit, but it's not like a typical bridge with the saddles where you can adjust individual strings. So that may be something that will keep you away from this model. I don't know. But being a P90, I don't know if you know a whole lot about P90s. They're a single coil that's a little bit more aggressive than a regular, like single coil from like a Surratt or something. So it kind of sits in between like a humbucker and a single coil as far as the output and aggression level. As you heard in the beginning, it got pretty heavy. We're using the orange TH30, gains about halfway up, reverb and delay there's coming from Boss. The thing about this is, with just the volume and a tone, you have to be really deliberate with your dynamics, with your tone choices, because you don't have two volumes, two tones, a phase switch, a coil split, all this other stuff that you could just constantly be flicking around, not even thinking about it just because you're bored, like, let me kick to this. But something like this, with just a volume and a tone, you have to be really deliberate with what you're doing. And honestly, you can get a lot of versatility with just this one pickup. Like in the beginning, everything you heard was done with this one pickup, because that's all there is. I didn't do any channel switching on the amp. I was rolling the volume and the tone down to get different sounds. And we'll just explore a few more of those sounds now. Like, get your volume around 2, 3 o'clock, depending on your amp. So it's kind of like a broken up tone. But it might be a little too bright, so you kick down on the tone knob. Take your tone all the way down. A little too dark, so we'll come back up a little bit. So you have a decent clean tone right there. And you still have room to come up on the tone knob. Got a little brighter now. And now we brought it up a little bit more on the volume, and you're really getting a... Put a little delay on that. Then of course, just bring it all in. Alright, so that's basically, there's not much else to say. You know, this guitar it's a solid guitar. It does a lot of things that you might not think you could get out of it just when you just look at it on the rack, like, one pickup, it's a P90, it's not going to be heavy, it's not going to be this. But that's the secret of this guitar, is it can do all those things and look kind of unique when you're doing it. I mean, how many guys can you think of that use a double cut single pickup Les Paul Jr. out there? We'll check out one more thing. Let's take the Frost Giant Electronics. The Mountain is a rat style pedal with some tweaks, and I'm using it as a boost, and we'll boost this dirty channel of the Orange TH30 and see what we come up with. So again, this is the Orange by itself. We're going to turn on the Mountain. We're going to use the overdrive setting instead of the full-on distortion setting. And here we go. So that has been the double cut Les Paul Jr. from Gibson. Very cheap price, USA made guitar, and does a lot of things well. So if you did like this guitar, maybe try and find one for yourself. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.